Chapter 10 Manikantan has enough. This is the story about a small boy whose name is Manikantan, and he moves to a smart city from his village. In this story, we see how all the gadgets are like his local guardians, all the time taking care of him. So Manikantan's mother is at work. He comes back home and thinking to himself, what a day, my shoulder hurts, but my head, that is on fire. That means his head is paining a lot, and he keeps his school bag there. Coffee table, right, Manikantan? I suggest you put me on the desk in your room. The school bag has got a voice computer in it. So it is saying that you have put me on the wrong table, the coffee table. You should be putting me on the desk in your room. Manikantan, alert! The school bag does not belong to me. The coffee table now starts speaking to him, saying that the school bag doesn't belong to this place, so keep it on the right place, that is the desk in his room. Now Manikantan goes and keeps the school bag on the desk in his room. There, happy. You should have been named or called the school nag. Nag means someone who's telling you everything all the time. So he should have been a school nag. The bag should have been named that. And then Manikantan goes and lies down on his bed, throwing his shoes on the ground. Are you not well, Manikantan? The room started to ask now. Manikantan has an amulet around his arm, which also keeps a track and keeps him alert. If only I could throw this blasted amulet in the trash, then maybe all these objects will shut up, though they'll still spy on me. Leave me alone. He removes the amulet because that amulet is connected to all the other objects. They are linked together and they all are keeping an eye on Manikantan. Then the room tells Manikantan that it looks like you have a headache. I have informed your Amma. Amma is his mother. Perhaps some chai and pakoras might help. Sure, Manikantan says. I wish the room hadn't worried Amma. He is telling to himself that the room has now informed his mother. Again, mother will get worried. So the room gives an order to the next gadget to make chai and pakora, the tea and pakoras. Great. Order placed with the kitchen. And Manikantan, your shoes are not in the shoe rack. Now Manikantan had thrown his shoes down. So now the room is telling him to put the shoes on the shoe rack. Manikantan thinking to himself, maybe I don't want to do what you tell me to. Maybe I just want to escape this smart city and go back to Anandpuram, our lovely village. He's missing his village Anandpuram and wants to go back. We see that Manikantan is nostalgic about and remembering his village where he was more free. The rose blue summer, the yummy smell of parothas roasting over the charcoal fire, the cool of the winters, better than any AC in the smart city, and the best of all, watching the elephants bathe in the paria during the downpour. Downpour is when heavy rain, the elephants bathing. If only I could be back to Anandpuram. Manikantan is thinking to himself. remembering everything that was very beautiful in the village, which is not similar at all to the smart city. Then suddenly the room makes a noise again, waiting. The room is still waiting for Manikantan to pick up his shoes and keep them in the shoe rack. And Manikantan thinking to himself, sigh, helpful suggestions is one thing, but this nagging? What am I? A prisoner in my own home? Even Amma doesn't understand. And of what use are these smart objects? I still have to heat up the pakoras myself. I guess I should be grateful that the food genie at least makes the chai. And he goes there to the food genie. Food genie is the kind of a microwave, the microwave type of thing, makes the tea. So the food genie now asks him, as he goes to take the cup of tea and the pakoras that are inside and getting warmed up and made, asks him, how is the tea? How good is the chai, Manikantan? He says, as good as cow urine. Now, as if the food genie would know what is the taste of cow urine. And the food genie says thank you, because obviously it's a gadget. It doesn't know what is the taste. And it says thank you. So now Manikantan's mother gives him a call is connected with him through the amulet. So she asks him, have you a headache, Kanha? Kanha is his nickname. I'm better, Amma. How's work? He's asking mother how is his work, and he tells her that it is better. She says, wonderful. So much better than my job back at Anandpuram. How was your day? Mother asks Manikantan. He says, good, great. And he says, Amma works so hard. She cares so much. She's everything to me. How can I tell her the truth? It'll just worry her. Nothing, Amma, he tells her. You sure, Mani? Your school bag told me that you had been sent to the principal. What happened, Kana? Mother asks that the school bag has already informed her that he was sent to the principal, that there was something that had happened in school and he was probably punished. So Manikantan gets very annoyed and he says, not the school bag. School bag should be called the tattle bag. Tattle bag means someone who's all the time complaining. And Manikantan in anger tells his mother, why ask me? Ask the school bag. It seems to know everything. Mani, come on. You can tell me. Now he's getting annoyed that the school bag has tattled or complained about him to the mother. No, Amma, we can't sort it out. Okay, he says that I can't sort it out. I can't do this anymore. Mani, what's the problem? Talk to me. We can sort it out. And mother's telling him we can sort it out, and he's saying, no, we cannot solve this problem. I'm very fed up of these gadgets. And he starts to cry and throws the amulet in the trash and runs away. And he's telling the amulet and telling the house, now the house will tattle about my crying to Amma, to mom. I can't take this anymore. I'm out of this house. And he throws the amulet and rushes out of the house. He's saying, I'm so fed up with these gadgets all the time, instructing and complaining to mother about things, that he goes out of the house crying. He cannot just bear it anymore. Now because he has thrown the gadget away, the amulet away, he's lost in the city, because the amulet would guide him and would connect to him to all the other gadgets to make things easier. Oh no, why did I throw the amulet away? Who will tell me now about stranger danger, that means people who are dangerous, or when to cross the road? Even my favorite star, Vikram, doesn't call me by name. And everywhere there are, like, he's not known to them. So it is like type of service, rating, reviews, all these things are there. Wait time, sail to cross, and vehicle speed, everything is written there. And he is lost. He cannot do anything without the gadget. And you can see his favorite star speaking, "Hi, I'm Vikram. Do you like action movies?" He's asking the audience. But he is not taking Manikantan. He is not recognizing Manikantan because the amulet is not there. And now the city surveillance is recording that he's probably a stranger, named Stranger, mutual friends, favorite music, what all things are there. But Mani, that is his shortened name, was soon lost in the city without his amulet. So everything is being recorded everywhere in the city. Everything is smart. So everything is a gadget and everything is like a computer recording everything. But if you don't have the amulet with you, he is lost. Now probably the room, the amulet, everything mother must be informed already that he is gone out of the house, and the police try to find him and locate him. Thankfully for Manikantan, the smart objects of the city alerted the authorities, and they dropped him home. The police, the people there, they dropped him home. They located him, dropped him home. "Here's your son, ma'am. Do take care of him," the police said. And she said, "Thank you for bringing my son back home, sir." And Manikantan thinking to himself, if it were not for the smart objects, I don't know what would have I done. He's thinking to himself now. He's realizing that if the smart objects were not there, how he would be able to reach back home. He would be lost completely. And then he apologizes to his mother. He says, "I'm sorry. I worried you, Amma." And mother is saying, "I have adjusted some of the settings, Kana, so the house will give you a little more privacy. So probably they will not nag him for everything." And then she says, all these smart objects are for your own good, she's explaining to him. And he understands that it is true what she is saying. He says, "I know." Mummy says, "Now enough of that. You've learned your lesson. How was your adventure in the city?" She asks him what happened in the city. He says, "It was scary, Amma. I was so lost without the amulet to tell me who people are and when to go. There was nothing there how he would know where to go and who was." And she says, "Shh, it's over, Kana. Just remember never to leave the house without the amulet. I was so worried," she's telling him. I'm sorry. I broke the rule, Amma." And he says sorry that he broke the rule of leaving the amulet home. Now mother talking to him says, "Breaking rules is not always a bad thing. But now you're a big boy and you have to be more matured. Aren't we happy that here in the smart city," she's telling him, "we are much happier in the smart city. It is much better than the village." And then thinking to himself, he says, but Anandpuram had no smart objects, so the amulet won't work there. Maybe that's not such a good thing," he thinks to himself. And then, "Yes, Amma, it's nice here." He tells her that it is nice here than the village they were in. So now after that, mother prepares some dinner and she says, "Great, Come on, I've made dinner with just very limited help, or very little help from the food genie. Food genie must be helping in the cooking of the food. In the next scene, we see mother telling him a story and putting him to sleep. And the girl vanquished the dragon. Well, that's the end of the story. That is, the dragon was sent away or removed. Thanks, Amma. Good night. Good night, Kana. Good night, Manikantan. Good night, Amma. Sleep tight. I won't let the bed bugs bite. The gadget and the runes and everything tells them, and the amulet says good night, and everyone goes off to sleep, and that's the end of the story here. So, this story tells us that things we are surrounded by today, they don't really know anything about us or other objects in the house. The clock is just a clock. The fridge is just a fridge. The clock does not know what the fridge does, and vice versa. But things are about to change. Soon, all human-made objects will be interconnected. They will be connected together. They will be more aware of what is going on around them. They will be smarter. They will be able to exchange data and keep track of your needs in a better way. When objects get interconnected and can communicate with each other as if by an invisible telephone network, we say we have an Internet of Things. All these things connected due to the computer, because they are becoming smartphones, smart communications. So they are Internet of Things. They are all connected, all objects connected due to the internet.